like the sound effects of like with like the dirty magazines. You hear like the boing, like a boot kind of like jiggle thing sound effect. Or that's the only way I could explain it. So
in the dub, it's always like somebody in the background going,
yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Anime Summit Podcast. It's your favorite host with the most the bomb. And with me, of course, every week is Danny.
The one just for me.
And Nick Stopheles. Chee. And sick references. Because we are finally doing our show swap review. I'm so glad that we're doing more of these, because the more and more we do them, the more things start kind of overlapping with each other, and
it's all coming together like an Emperor's New Groove.
And I'll tell you why later when we get into Chobits. But we were telling you guys the last couple of weeks that we were doing a show swap, and we're talking about Planetes or Planetes and Chobits. Nick traded Planetes to Danny traded Chobits to Nick, both in the 2000s, both 20-some episodes. I think Chobits is 24 technically, because there's 2 recaps, and then Planetes was 26. So, really nice, really fun. And to be honest with you, I'm just ready to just dive into it. So, I think this was a fun swap for me personally, because I got to rewatch Chobits. A lot of it I didn't remember, because I watched it when I was a kid. Read the manga as a kid, didn't finish all the manga. So hopefully Danny can fill me in on like differences if she remembers.
Oh, I didn't read the manga.
Oh, I thought you read it. Okay, never mind. Sorry.
No.
I haven't read any manga.
That's fine. I don't remember any of it. So like, I remember the beginning, obviously, because like it's the beginning. But
I did nominate Planetes.
Just say Planetes.
You know what? There's a Greek way, but we're gonna say Planetes. All right, sorry. Anyway, I nominated that for Manga Club. I just yelled it out though.
Yeah.
It's not nominated.
Yeah, as in it's not on the it's not on the not official.
It's not.
It's like Michael Scott declaring bankruptcy. That's what I did.
That being said, links.animesummit.net. My favorite link on there is Discord. The Discord link to come in, hang out with us, talk with us, and join Manga Club. Which reminds me, thank you, Nick. Freaking Manga Club is so fun. Shout out Danny and Ed for keeping that huge community going. There's fucking 8 to 15 people there every fucking week, just all yelling and talking about manga. It's so cool. So really, you should join. Titles get picked out monthly, and they get planned out. So that way you have time to read everything. You know what I mean? So like, we're not just like, oh, by the way, this week is this, and then you have to like, you know what I mean, scramble to read it. You have time to, because we plan it out a month.
No, Sam, everybody scrambles. Let's be honest.
By your own pacho, but not by the chacho is what I meant. But yeah, that's mostly just Nick. But like,
no, half the other people scramble. They're just better at scrambling than I am.
They're just better at scrambling than I am. But also, let me tell you about this as well. Sorry. And then also our shop is open. animesummit.net. That's simple. https://animesummit.net. Get in there, buy a shirt, buy a mug, I think there's some other stuff. There's a print on there, our print for the magazine cover thing that I gave out during a Twitch stream. Check it out. But yeah, let's just dive on in. Question of the week, Nick.
All right, this is from Lord Ethan of House Weebology, and he asks, why is it that 9 out of 10 doctors agree that you're guaranteed to live longer and be overall human specimen if you watch anime?
Because a lot of anime, unlike a lot of Western cartoon shows, well, like a lot of Western cartoon shows, they're geared towards kids to like 17-year-olds, right? There's a lot of adult ones now, yes, but like, a lot of the kids cartoon shows that we see, or a lot of Western cartoon shows that we see are like younger audiences. And for us, anime has always been kind of a mature thing. Yeah, there are kids anime, but like, I don't know, anime is like real. It's real to kids. You know what I mean? It's like, when I was a kid, I wanted to see Goku win despite the odds, right? When I was a teen, I wanted to see Domon Kashu finally overcome his own bullcrap and learn the Sekihatsu Kyoken and acquire the Burning Gundam. When I was an adult, I wanted to see like, you know, I wanted to see Kirito make it to the top despite life-threatening, like, you know, whatevers, all that kind of stuff, right? So I don't know, it's just real. I think like it's like feel-good self-insert crap, you know what I mean? Like it's just, and even with the anime, not all anime is like that, but like, you know, some anime you just watch just to watch. But even on the other side of that, right? There's waifu anime. You're just watching it for the waifus. It makes you feel good. These girls make you feel good. On the other side of that, if you're into the hot dudes, hot daddies, you know, hot boys.
Did you say hot Dannies?
Hot Dannies. There's a whole anime where it's a harem of Dannies. This is 4 or 5 Dannies all going after one girl, and the girl's a Sukeban, and it's really funny. That's my idea. Nobody steal that. I'm drawing that. Shut up. Okay. Anyways, TM.
Copyright.
I got reincarnated as Sukeban, and she's got 4 Danny girlfriends. No, fucking, and like, you know, I think it's like it's feel good stuff at the end of the day. Yeah, you're watching a Titan trample over some dudes, some peasants or whatever. Who cares? And you're watching Aaron's mother get like cannibalized by a Titan. Blah blah blah. But like, that's the
oh, spoiler, Sam. Jeez,
that's the conflict, right? Like you want to watch Aaron. You want to see how Aaron solves this Titan issue, and then you can kind of be like, "Oh, that's some badassery," you know. It's the same thing as if you're watching like when people watch those really crazy episodes of Star Trek: The Next Generation. There's always like this really cool thing that Picard says at the end of the episode, like it's like, "Oh, damn, dude, that's real shit." Even though you're in a completely fucking fantastical setting, it's just like, I don't know, it's real, you know, it's real.
Are you talking about when he got that flute?
The flute, dude.
That's the only episode of Star Trek I've seen.
The Inner Light, I think it's called. Yeah, I don't remember. But like, you know, there's things from shows that teach us things, and anime does it a lot. I don't know why, it just does, because Japanese people like telling stories like that where you can watch it and make you feel good. You know what I mean?
Well, they do the thing where they have like a bittersweet ending a lot of the time. Not like Disney is always like a happy ending, pretty much.
Yeah,
Japan though, they're like, fuck you.
Japan,
you know?
too, like
end of Evangelion ending.
Japan too, they'll write things like that, and it's like, but despite this, you know, you can overcome it at some point, right, or something.
Yeah, that's why it's bittersweet.
Yeah. Anyways, that being said, that was my long answer. Sorry. What do you?
I don't even know what the hell that answer was, Sam. Danny, what do you got?
What Sam said.
See,
Danny was just about to say that.
Me.
Yeah.
I didn't paint her nothing. Shut up.
If you think about it, every time you watch a story, that counts as living that story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm 1 billion years old, and I've traveled. I've gone through the blue line. Well, not really, but only in the live action version. But anyway, Grand Line, Blue Line,
the Grand
I don't know
Line.
what they call it. I'm on Dog 5. Jump Rope Canyon is next.
I can't.
Yeah, you live longer because you watched all the stories.
You live long. You live long enough to see yourself become the villain. That's the
Not only that, but like a bunch of anime just has like a bunch of characters who look older, but they're actually they look younger, but they're actually way older than what they actually look like.
Yeah.
So that's how you live longer.
Yeah,
that's how you live longer.
You become a 500-year-old vampire lolly. That's my future right there. That's me.
I still love the fucking corny ass anime tropey scene from Gate, where they're in the like court hearing, and the one executive lady's like, "You mind your manners when you're speaking to someone older." And then Rory Mercury's like, "I'm 950 some years old, you fucking little bitch." Like, I was like, "Oh shit."
Oh man.
And
so
she's all like, "Naruto." So funny. Anyways, and also for the waifu husbando aspect too, it's like it makes us feel good. You either fall in love with the character, or you just want to take care of them, or you want to be their best friend. You know what I mean? It's just like
you want to protect.
Yeah. So then you buy figures, and then you buy model kits, and you buy wall scrolls, you buy Nendos, that kind of thing. Like
just make sure you also go outside sometimes.
Or they give you sexual and
get that vitamin D.
Or they give you sexual and gender awakenings, like Sailor Uranus did for me or whatever. So then I have to buy all the figures because I'm like, that is my transgender goal right there. or Danny, right? She's got the Nana figures, right? And Danny to this day can't tell if she wants to bone or be their best friend. And that's okay.
Just both.
I mean, you could do both. Yeah, there's nothing wrong doing both. But that being said,
but they're very straight. Like they're super straight, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Fucking sick. Disgusting.
Fucking hetero. No, but yeah. Anyways, that's a good question. And obviously, we're not fucking doctors and we don't know shit. We just know our experiences. But shout out Weebology. You guys should go listen to Weebology. Okay, Danny.
Waifu and husbando. Waifu is none other than Sumomo from Chobits. And
thank you for pandering to me, Danny.
I'm sorry. I mean, she is fine. Like she's adorable, but honestly, the real main character of Chobits is Sumomo.
The real main
with her
not even close, but okay.
Literally with her morning exercise alarm.
Yeah, those are funny. Yeah. 1, 2, 1, 2, raise your hands. She's very annoying for everybody else who isn't comedically inclined.
Oh, she's
like
not
us.
annoying. I think she's so funny.
But I like it. She's annoying, but I think it's funny. That's
funny.
That's what I'm saying, though. Some people think she's annoying. Anyway, I like it.
And husbando is Hachiroda Hoshino from Planetes. Who's the main character.
Yeah, that was solid.
Main male protagonist of Planetes.
He's going to marry Sumomo now. That's how that works.
Sure,
that's how this works from now on.
Absolutely, yeah.
They're not our waifus.
We're matchmakers, right?
Yeah.
Fucking Nick is over here just like, now Kith.
Now Kith.
Now Kith. Yeah, dude. Chobits and Planetes. Okay. And like I said, we're just going to spoil from the beginning. Okay. We don't really, we warned you guys to watch it with us, a bit ago. So hopefully you guys did. But from here, we're not going to summarize the whole entire fucking show, obviously. But
yeah, these are 20-year-old shows.
Yeah. But we're going to spoil, right away. I'm not going to give a warning later when we talk about it. I'm just going to give the warning now. So
real quick though, do we recommend these shows? I guess we're reviewing them. Should we recommend them?
I mean, we can say that after, each one, but
well, in case somebody wants to, do they want to watch it without getting spoiled?
Oh, you're right. Yeah. For the people who want to stop it right here, I guess, you know what? I do recommend both of these. I will say that me personally, and if you guys have listened to the podcast long enough and know my tastes, I enjoyed Chobits more. But so Planetes is more of your adventure sci-fi. It's a little more realistic. There's not there's not a bunch of, it's more Star Trek-ish in that way without the aliens. You know what I mean? There's not a bunch of robots and mechs firing lasers.
That's called hard sci-fi.
Hard sci-fi. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's astronauts doing realistic things. It almost could be this because it takes place in 2075. That almost could be a realistic future, when it comes, when you're watching it. So, it's the same manga. The creator of it is the same mangaka who did Vinland Saga. So if that tells you anything, maybe if you're a fan of Vinland Saga, and so there's not really any kind of crazy wild.
Oh my God. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah. There's not even any crazy wild action or anything that happens in it. It's just it's almost like a life, a life drama and a life, kind of, it's a serious, holy shit, this is space and this is what the world could look like in 2075 and whatever. So anyways, Chobits is, it's by Clamp. That should tell you a lot of stuff. It's a slice of life romance, that kind of thing. But the big thing about it is it has a post-humanism kind of theme, like Ghost in the Shell. Is Motoko Kusanagi real? Is Sumomo and Chi, even though they're Persicom's personal companion computers, are they real? Can you fall in love with them? Can you hate them? That kind of thing. Can they feel? Can they hate? That kind of thing. So yes, I recommend both. If you want to watch it, stop the podcast right here and come back and listen to this later. Boom. Okay. That being said, we're going to move on with the review. So with or without you or not, and if you got a problem with that, you can send a complaint to www.kissmyasshoneybear.com. Okay. Or you can, go fuck yourself. Anyways, let's start with the order that these came out in, okay? That's why I have them listed this way. Chobits came out first in the spring season of 2002 with 26 episodes plus 2 OVAs. 24 apps.
It's 24 episodes if you watch. If you watch on the streaming sites, it's 24.
So that's what I was going to say next before you decide to jump in and fart
sorry, my bad. My bad.
Yeah, don't fart in my cactus, okay? I just got it, okay? It's a brand new
Nick, you're jumping the gun here.
You're jumping the cactus.
It's 24
follow the
episodes.
system.
24.
You yell at us about not following a system, and Sam is just over here following the system.
Silence! Let Sam speak.
Silence! You bitch. Okay, no,
like Frau from Austin Powers.
So, and we fucking, it was funny because we were trying to fucking figure it out last week before recording.
Yeah, I watched the last 2 episodes like twice. I'm like, is that it?
And Nick was like, what happened? And so like, it turns out that like 2 of them are recaps. So like, it's like every episode is titled "She Does This, She Does That" or whatever. There's one episode called Shinbo and Sumomo Chat, and then another one called Minoru and Yuzuki Chat. And those are them chatting together, recapping the events of the series. So I think it's like
there's one called Chi Kills Krillin,
and he can't be wished back this time.
Yeah. That's like literally Dragon Ball Z episodes, how they name that. That's like a One Piece thing too, where they just spoil the fuck out of it with the episode title.
It's like
Luffy dies really bad, but then he comes back, but then he dies again.
It's episode 9 and 18. That's pretty easy to remember. So just like, episode 9 and then times 2, episodes later, 18. It's those 2 episodes. And the way Crunchyroll has it is they cut them out and then renumbered them from there. So
yeah, which ones were the is that that's 18 and 9.
Yeah.
You just said
yeah. It. So then episode 26 ends up being 24. You know what I mean? So it's like it's
not, it doesn't matter because those don't even exist on the streaming sites anyway.
Yeah.
So
on Crunchyroll and Funimation, don't even worry about those recap apps. But
it might be if you get the physicals.
But if you get the physicals or are watching it somewhere else, hint, then it's episode 9 and 18.
I couldn't even find the recaps when I went to the high seas.
The place where I watched it I
didn't want to watch them anyway. It's fine. I don't need to watch them.
The place I had them on were the place where I was watching them had them, so I just skipped them. But this is Studio Madhouse. The director is actually Morio Asaka, storyboard for the OP and some episodes as well. This is funny because we talked about Morio Asaka last show swap because they did Nana. So they're the director for Nana and a bunch of other Clamp stuff, and of course Chihaya Furu. Shahina Fina. So Mario Osaka, we mentioned him last time. He kind of seems like to be one of the directors that they go to for some Clamp stuff. Not necessarily all of the Cardcaptor Sakura series, but like an OVA, I think one of the movies. And
he did the show. He was the prime director for it though.
SAO.
Oh, you know what?
Well, that's just the ED, actually.
No, you know what? I read it right here because it says director and storyboard. And then after that, it says 5 episodes, but that just meant for the storyboard. So that's why I got confused. But yeah, he pretty much is like the go-to Clamp person. He's also assistant director of Demon City Shinjuku. But yeah, we mentioned that the last time. Yeah, Mario Osaka, he's pretty cool. He has got a big resume, especially with Clamp. So chief animation director is Hisashi Abe, and based on the manga Chobits by Clamp, which is a group of mangaka that does a bunch of awesome shoujo manga. Some of me and Danny's favorites are done by Clamp. So if that should tell you anything. The synopsis of Chobits is basically literally the most pathetic motherfucker in the world is a country bumpkin. Okay, his name is Hideki Motosua. He's a country boy who's studying hard to get into college. He comes from, the boonies. He's a farm boy. He can barely afford anything. But once he finally gets to Tokyo, he decides to attend cram school, prep school or college prep school to help his chances of getting into college. He's going to be like 19 years old soon. He finds an abandoned Persicom in the trash. Okay, and Persicoms are like these. They're fucking androids, man. Okay, you can program them. They're basically the computers that me, Danny, and Nick are talking on now. Just imagine that, but like in the form of an android, and you can download software to them. You can use them as phones. You can use them as messengers, email. You can have them send your email, but they're in the form of a waifu or a husbando or a person. So he finds one in the trash, and he manages to activate her and turn her on. Hint, hint. That's very funny. In more ways than one.
Only Hideki can touch her hoo-ha.
Which you don't find out till later. But like, yeah, her on switch is in her hoo-ha. And so all she can say is chi, at least in the beginning. She learns over time to speak other words and, understand things. But like, so he names her Chi, and then basically this is the story of them living together. It starts peeling back some other things like, can you fall in love with a Persicom? You find out that she might be a special type of Persicom called a Chobit, 4 or 5 episodes in or whatever the hell it is. And so it's like, you meet all these characters on his neighbor Shinbo has a Persicom, but it's a mobile Persicom. So it's a little chibi tiny, like it's probably the size of a soda can, I think it is. Her name is Sumomo, which is the waifu. Trisha's favorite. Trisha loves Sumomo so much. Every time.
She's funny. She's she's the comic relief.
Every time she comes on the screen, Trisha's just all giddy. She thinks she's the cutest. But yeah, that's basically it. That's the little synopsis. It also tells you here on now that episodes 9 and 18 are recap episodes. But yeah, so I mean, when I was a kid, I have the first volume on my shelf still too. When I was a kid, I read, I think, the first 3 volumes, and then the person that I was borrowing them to me, she moved away. So, a bunch of other manga that I've read was because of her, and then when she moved away, I'm not able to finish reading them. But like, yeah, fucking, it was really cute. It had this very distinct style with these very huge eyes. But kind of far apart in a weird way, but like it still kind of worked. I don't know. I'm trying to find the name of the main design, but it was in Kodansha's Seinen Manga magazine, Weekly Young magazine, from September 2000, October 2002. It's 8 volumes. So 26 episodes for something that's 8 volumes, I think is pretty decent. I just wish I could tell you some of the differences. I haven't tried to look it up yet, but if you look at just the covers by themselves, you know what I mean? And then you kind of look at just any other Clamp cover, you know what I mean? You can tell, you know what I mean? So I love it. I love it a lot. But what did you guys think? What are first thoughts? What did you guys think of, I guess rather what's Nick's first thought, right? Because, it was traded to him from Danny. I'm gonna try and talk as less as possible in here because it was
Sam. What a filibuster!
It's y'all's trade, so I'm gonna try and shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna look up stuff in the background. You guys,
all right? Yeah. So Chobits, right? I've seen Plastic Memories, and
so here's my favorite thing about it. No, just kidding. Go ahead, Nick.
The main thing I knew about it is the opening. Obviously, I've heard the opening.
Yeah,
everyone's heard it, and then you can't unhear it. Plastic Memories was apparently somewhat similar to Chobits, which aired in like 2015, give or take. And so I saw that, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll watch Chobits someday. So expectations going in, I thought it'd be a little bit like that. You'd be a robot, love story type of deal, and I thought it would be. I didn't like Plastic Memories actually was more tragic at the end, or bittersweet, I guess. Chobits was, I would say, more of a happy ending at the end, kind of. I don't know. It ended very abruptly. I had to watch it twice, and I still didn't fucking fully get it. But yeah, the show overall was fun. Like it was a comedy. It was a rom-com, right? With a little bit of mystery, figuring out what's the deal with Chi, what's the deal with the Persicoms, right? Because Chi was supposed to be one of the Chobits, right, which are like one of the special, legendary Perscoms. So the first like big chunk of the show was just like mostly rom-com, and then they kind of like dumped most of the story at the end, which was fine. I think it would have been better if they interspersed them a little bit better, but it was entertaining. I did find it funny, like Chi learning to do things. Like she was basically like a parrot or like an animal that it just imprinted on Hideki pretty much. Because he's not anything like super special. She just, he's the harem guy. He doesn't have a harem, but he's the anime male love interest, and he's not special, but that, he's got the girl. So even though Chi's not, I find it like funny that, I don't know, like I don't understand how people can fall in love with a robot. Like I get how they could lust for one, I guess, but like actually fall in love, that's just strange to me because the robot can't like actually feel anything. You know what I mean? And Chi basically can't say no. So yeah, I think I did think it was funny though, because they played everything for laughs. They didn't get way too serious with it. I like that. I like that that the guy was like, he was like embarrassed about his perversions, but he wasn't like a creepy pervert. He would like quickly try to excuse him, not excuse him. He quickly tried to diffuse the situation. So it made it less bad. I think it was fine. And then I would say the weakness was like the story overall, if I'm going that far, but I like the rom-com elements. The overall story was a little bit less. It could have been done a little bit better in my opinion, but otherwise I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty decent. It was fun rom-com. So there you go. What do you got, Danny?
All right. Well, so I mean, this Chobits is something that I grew up on. Me and my best friend Nikki. This was something that she and I really bonded over. I wouldn't say Chobits is my favorite anime. It's definitely her favorite. Like she loves Chobits, absolutely 100%. I wouldn't say it's my favorite out of the Clamp series, like out of the Clamp stories that are out there. But I definitely grew up on it, and it's for what it is. I would say it's pretty underrated. Not a lot of people remember Chobits, especially since it's being a Studio Clamp story and everything.
Well, it's not Studio Clamp. I always get confused about Clamp. Like Clamp is just a group of. It's a group of women who write. Yeah, a group of Clamp is specifically women only mangaka that write stories. So. Oh, okay. Yeah, they did like Code Geass and X-Holic and all that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they did Tsubasa as well. So
Angelic Layer, yeah,
and Angelic, yes, correct.
Yeah.
So
Ray Earth.
Oh God, I gotta rewatch Ray Earth. Anyways,
after rewatching it, because it's been years since I've watched.
You probably remembered more than I did. I mean, I
remember most of it because it was around the time when, like, Sam Goody and Sunko's video were still around, and like
my heart.
So, we only had like some of the DVDs. Like we didn't have all of the DVDs because we were kids. So like it was that kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to the mall.
Yeah. So like, so we never actually like finished it. It was only until like streaming services started to become a thing, and that's when we really like finished everything. So I would say this is like probably like a first watching it from beginning to end, and also watching it as an adult, like 33 years old, and I'm watching Chobits again. It's wild. I hate Motosua. I don't like him. He is awful.
He's such a yutz.
Like, he is worse than Kazuya from Rent-A-Girlfriend. I said it. Change my mind because you can't.
You mean Hideki?
Yes, Motosua.
The main guy?
Yes, Motosua.
But She calls him Hideki, doesn't she, in the show?
Majority of all the other characters call him Motosua. Chi is the only person that calls Hideki.
I
because
am
they
Chi,
live
though.
together. So
Chi is the audience insert, so he's Hideki to me.
okay, well he's Motosua to me because he's an idiot.
All right, this is not important. Anyways.
Yeah, he's so dumb. Like he is absolutely so dumb.
And
I can't.
Some people are like, well, he's a farm boy and he doesn't know anything about technology.
I understand.
Like, dude, no one's that slow and that stupid at learning. Like,
no, but it was like 2002? The internet was not even 10 years old then.
Listen, I don't know what it was like living in the boonies or anything like that. The only thing that I know about the boonies is that there's awful cell service. That's it. So like I can kind of maybe understand that he is very ignorant when it comes to technology, but he has been living in Tokyo for God knows how long after he moves. Like, and he lives next to a guy who is pretty knowledgeable on computers. Not only that, but he is constantly going to Kogobunji's house to like help and everything. I know that there are a lot of people who are not good with technology. I mean, myself included. Like I'm not James because James works in IT, so he definitely knows far more computer stuff than me. So, but I know the basics, like on how to work a computer.
Like if I told Danny, I was like, "Hey, can you like format this laptop?"
This was 2002, Danny. Nobody knew anything.
This thing, dude.
Except the super nerd.
Literally everyone else, dude. There's people. There's everyone.
No,
watching
no.
But like it was like times 10, like that he was just like, I don't know how to do this.
Everyone else
like he was literally banging on the TV, like, come on, like work.
Don't pretend you've never done that, Danny.
And so like, are you that ignorant? Come on, man.
I don't know. They dumbed him down a lot. Yeah, I don't know.
He was so dumb.
The files are
so
in the
dumb.
computer.
Yeah.
Like,
how do you expect children to read if they can't even fit inside the building?
I did not like the whole, ignorant freaking, I don't know technology. You have to explain this to me. Like
maybe that's why Chi liked him, Danny, because he was so stupid.
And so I wanted to just jump in here, and I was Googling while Nick and Danny were talking because I wanted to see, what did they say about the manga, right? Because I don't remember the manga. Like I read the first 3 volumes, and apparently the characters are a little more fleshed out, and he's not as dumb. I think they dumbed him down for the anime a lot.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Which, like, that's what we're reviewing. We're not reviewing the manga. So, it's just like, yeah, he was kind of annoying sometimes. I was just like, oh man,
gosh, they're like,
get
especially
it together,
at the
dude.
end.
Like,
yeah, especially at the end, I'm like, come on, man. Like, really? You've been living in Tokyo for how long and you still can't understand how to turn on and turn off a computer? Okay, cool. Like
reminds me of that
just keep smacking it.
That thing with Usagi. I should tell you, I don't know much about computers. She's like holding a little disc.
Oh my god!
Like I was Usagi like, drinking the dumb bitch juice.
The dumb bitch.
You guys remember
that? Yeah. Oh, and another thing that honestly like really annoyed me was when they were trying to play that MMO game.
Oh, yeah.
And they went into the game and she wasn't there, and Motosua just like freaked out and is all like, I have to find Chi, and everyone's all like, dude, calm the fuck down. Like, you don't know how to play this game. You can't just go off and run into like monsters that are gonna kill you. Like, you need to calm down. And he's all like, he's like literally in a panic, and he's like, but I have to find her. I don't know where she is. And I'm just like, oh god. I would kill you right now if I had the chance.
Danny's like, I'm gonna strangle this guy.
I was like on the verge. I was like, holy crap.
Well, and that also as well, like, I'll talk about some of this other stuff later because I do want to mention some of the stuff I didn't like as well.
Oh, we also got to talk about the picture book that Chi keeps reading. But
we'll mention that.
That's definitely
that was one part I thought was cool. I was like,
the picture book definitely has like
that was some Masaki Uasa level shit.
That's some significance on like what Chi, like who Chi actually is, and everything like that. So
which was cool, and it was like the twist. It was like, oh shit. But so like and that's another thing of the another theme of the show that I didn't cover when I was mentioning the synopsis was like she is possibly a part of the Chobits series, which is a special kind of Persicom that can like learn and think.
They
and
can
have
think
emotions
independently
and love and learn to love and stuff like that. They're like, like, so think of it like this, like the robots in Mega Man are programmed to do that thing on their own and whatever. The robots.
I choose to believe what I was programmed to believe.
Yeah, the robots in
We gotta post that in the episode.
The robots and Reploids in Mega Man X already come made that way, so they can learn new things on top of it, and that's why it's like this big, huge thing with Sigma and Zero and all that. There's my Mega Man X nerd talk that I'm not going to be able to get to do ever again on this podcast. That being said, that's kind of what a Chobits is, and they believe that she is one of them. And so, anyways, what I was gonna say, one thing that I didn't like, just because Danny brought it up, the MMO part where they're playing the MMORPG game or whatever. They were trying to find Chi and whatever, and then they find like the most powerful boss in the game, and no one's been able to beat him or whatever, right? And Hideki is trying to fight him, and he's like, "You just like, do you not know how games work, man? What the fuck are you doing?" Anyways. So like fucking then she comes down like fucking Asuna in the Alicization arc and just god modes everything and kills everyone. And they never like explain why or where she was or why the fuck that happened the way it did.
Yeah.
And it was kind of weird. I was kind of like, okay, well, why didn't they? I don't understand. Why was she all powerful? Why was she level 99,000 god mode? Like I don't understand why. Maybe she played the game before or something. I don't know. Like they didn't say it. Cause like when Hideki turns around in the beginning, she doesn't remember anything else, like the data she had before or whatever. That, and one of the things is she doesn't even have an operating system.
when Motosua Grat like picked her up and stuff, a disc fell out of
that's
of,
right.
Like, her lap and stuff.
Yeah.
So
that must have had all of the previous like shit. But like
yes, that's probably what like, what her memory was way before and everything. I'm gonna say this right now, guys. I don't want to like expose like the major spoiler on like who created Chi and everything like that.
Sure,
because that's like an interesting
I think it's a good twist. I think it's a good So I don't want to reveal.
Oh yeah. I just remembered.
Like,
it's been like a couple of weeks since I watched it.
Yeah, so I don't want to reveal who like created Chi and everything.
And where she comes from and all that. Yeah, we don't have to say that. But like,
believe it or not, it was Hideki.
It turns out it's man. But like, yeah, no, like and so like those I was gonna say the picture books that she reads, but maybe we shouldn't say that either because that's part of it. But like that's actually
or I mean we can talk about the picture books.
Well, the book is called A City with No People, right?
And then a new sequel to that book comes out, and there are clues being left for Chi. Who's leaving the clues? I'm not gonna say, but like, they're basically clues that are being left for her, trying to explain to her who she is and where she comes from. And
it reminded me of Kaiba, just like the character designs, or like
in the
Hello
book,
Kitty.
in the book, yeah, they did. Like that little the little bunny thing with the
little
twin tails or whatever.
Yeah.
It could be.
It's like the mask. It's literally the mascot for Chobits. In all honesty,
it could be. It definitely
the
is.
Little bunny.
It definitely is. It could be a Kaiba character. Absolutely.
Sanrio. That's what I was going to say.
Sanrio. Yeah, Sanrio.
Or Sanrio.
Yeah. But yeah. I know. I'm with you, Danny. We don't have to say that part. But like, overall though,
we gotta run through all the characters too here.
There was.
Go ahead.
There was little. Well, I mean, there's Hideki who finds Chi, right? And he's a country bumpkin. He doesn't know shit. All he does is raise cattle and eat beef. And then
he drinks dumb bitch juice.
And then there's Shinbo, his neighbor, who has Sumomo as his Persicom.
He is so much more likable than
Shinbo
Motosua.
has like spoiler. We want to spoil Shinbo's relationship.
Oh, we can. I don't care about that.
He's like dating their instructor. It's
I
like,
know.
what the fuck? That was weird.
How did you feel about
They just do that in Japan all the time, I guess. Whatever. I was surprised.
I mean, there's
and then
another.
also
There was another like relationship age gap difference that happened.
Yeah.
How old
in the
was
story?
How old was she?
She was like I think she was oh, what the frick is her name?
Shimizu?
Doesn't matter.
Yumi. I think she's like 16 or 17 or something.
She's 17.
Wait, what?
She's 17.
How's the instructor only 17?
No. There was another relationship age gap that happened.
Yumi likes the main guy.
No.
No, wait.
No.
Yes?
No.
She did at first.
She did in the beginning. In the beginning.
Yeah.
But then I think it was more like she was trying to get over who she really liked.
Oh yeah, she rebounded.
The bakery
and then in the end, she really had feelings for Ueda, who is the baker that she works for.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like in his 30s. Yeah.
Probably 30 or something.
Shimizu.
Yeah, I mean, in Japan, that's
39.
not that weird.
39. He's almost 40. Damn.
Damn, dude.
Freaking Clamp. Only Clamp does to major age gaps.
They don't ever.
He's got that zaddy status.
They don't ever say how old Shimizu.
I don't even know what that means.
They don't ever say how old Shimizu is, but you just assume that she's like in her late 20s. Or
I mean,
early
she's
30s.
How old is Shimbo and the other guy?
They're 19 or 18.
They're
19.
they're of drinking age. So I would say like 19 and 20. Like I don't mind, Shinbo and
The teacher as much.
their teacher dating because they're full on grown adults. Like, yeah, it's weird that Shinbo is dating like their actual teacher because like
Yeah, it's like unethical.
that's like super weird. Like, how can you? I could understand like maybe dating a teacher that is in a different class or even at a different school, but not like the same school and actually your
she goes
teacher.
to a different school.
Like that, you can like Shimizu can actually seriously get in trouble for. I don't care if you are an adult, like in a college prep, like community school, prep school, whatever. You can get in fucking trouble for that.
Yeah, students. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
That's like another aspect of the anime, kind of where Hideki's showing up and finding Chi kind of unravels all this stuff because he kind of becomes a part of everything. And things get revealed, and it's like the thing between him and Chi that kind of unravels everything. But we should probably say what we think about this final thoughts soon, because we should talk about planet.
Gotta get going. Get going. All right. Anything we got to run through on Chobits? Any major things we missed?
No, I think the major thing we didn't want to talk about.
There's some spoiler stuff. Oh, the little short kid, Minoru.
Minoru was cool. Yeah, he's like
him and his Persicom were. They kind of helped out with like the technical.
They were honestly
stuff.
so fun when they were first introduced and everything. Like, okay, if we ever do a freaking Shota Smackdown, I want Minoru in it because like he was just
Shota Smackdown. we gotta have the manga book club on that one.
He's a genius. Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah, like
I love
the fact
genius
that,
young kids, man. They're cool.
Yeah, like I think they're
like Conan.
They're so like really smart kids who can literally like he fucking built Yuzuki because in the beginning like he built her to be a replacement for his sister and stuff, but after like as the story progresses and everything, you realize that like over time he has gotten over his sister and everything, and he cares for Yuzuki just as not like as a person, but like his own personal Persicom. Like you can actually genuinely tell that he cares about Yuzuki a lot. So, and I did find it interesting that, when Motosuwa first went to Minoru about Chi, And Minoru told him, like, whatever you do, like, no matter how much she looks like adorable or she does something cute or anything like that, don't fall in love with her. So, like,
Whoops.
yeah, whoops. I will say, I mean, I feel like I'm definitely going off of a lot of the negative aspects of Chobits, because there are some like plot holes that just don't make sense, like the two like Persicom agent things that
I didn't like that because they showed up at the end.
Apparently,
yeah, like
they weren't there the whole time.
They were super interesting characters as well, and it's all like, why are you
well,
here?
they might have been, but they never
elaborate.
They were not interesting because they showed up at the end.
Right, exactly.
They could have been interesting.
They could
if
have,
they were there
yes.
from like early on. Yeah.
Yeah, they could have been a big
I think that was like the worst part of the show.
But like honestly, they were like completely unnecessary to the whole plot of the story and everything. But I do want to talk about the good things about Chobits, and that is it's super funny and super cute. And like honestly, the first 3 episodes I will say are like the height of the show, especially when Hideki is teaching Chi like house manners and everything, and
yeah, she just copies him.
Yeah. So like
she's like
that
pervert. Hideki's a pervert.
Yeah, and like Hideki here, you're sad, right? Why don't you read one of your magazines? And like the sound effects of like with like the dirty magazines, you hear like the boing like a boob kind of like jiggle thing sound effect, or that's the only way I could explain it. So
in the dub, it's always like somebody in the background going,
oh, yeah.
So funny.
So like those types of things are like super funny, especially, in the beginning. Like that in the beginning, I definitely don't mind like Motsua's ignorance on computers and stuff. It's honestly at close to the middle and the end of the show where I'm just like, okay, you're just getting ridiculous on like how ignorant you are with computers. Like it was cute and funny in the beginning, but now you're just getting out of hand. But I will say, like, I think my favorite part is when like he is trying to buy underwear for Chi. And like he just can't do it. Like he feels too embarrassed about it. And also like taking her to take a bath and stuff. Like Shimbo was all like, oh, you need to bathe your Persicom. And he's all like, wait, what? I have to bathe my Persicom? But she's a girl. Like, I can't do that. I can't go into the women's bath. And like, he's
a robot
just like
too.
So over exaggerated. And it was so funny. So, and the way that like he's telling Chi, like, okay, go into the bath, and then you'll first see the locker room. You just got to take off your clothes and then, go into the bath and start washing yourself and everything. And he's like, okay, I'm going to go into, I'm going to go my separate ways. And then like he goes into the locker room and all the guys in the locker room are just staring, and Hideki like looks around like, why is everyone staring? And then he turns around and then Chi is like trying to take off her clothes, and it's just so funny. So,
whoops.
Yeah.
I liked when she tried to get a job and she got a job at a peep show.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Dude, I don't know. Okay,
yeah.
I watched
funny,
I watched some of this in the beginning in sub, and then I watched the rest of it in dub because I wanted to watch how I remembered it. And the name of the peep show in the dub was Kitty Cat Live Girl, Hot Live Girls Meow Meow. Super funny.
Oh my god!
I want to mention too that the dub is very 2000s. Okay, so when you go and watch
for sure, there's so many iconic actors.
It's Nona Marshall, Crispin Freeman. It's Steve Blum uncredited as the side characters. Which is funny.
Michelle Ruff who voices Chi.
Yeah.
Bridget Hoffman, who voices the manager, Bridget Hoffman has voiced Dandy in the past.
Yeah.
So there's so many well-known. Oh, freaking Steve Bloom is Ueda, the manager of the baker shop.
Yeah,
like,
he's uncredited. He's credited as somebody else. But yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it is Steve Blum. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And he's also another kind of minor character in Planet Test too, which is funny.
Yes.
Some of these voices were on the same.
Yeah, a lot of the same voices that are in here are also in Planet Test as well.
But Minoru's was the first one I recognized because Mona Marshall is best known for Izumi and Digimon, and also and she still works today. You know, she still does stuff today, which is cool. But like that's how I recognize her the most. And then I think she does play in some versions of Ryuko and some Tenchi. I don't think she does all of Ryuko. Or maybe she does, but I think she only does. I thought she only did in some of them. But I think she was
the last Tenchi she did was in 2003.
Oh, okay. Shit. But we got to do all the Tenchi stuff at one point because that shit's wild. But yeah, anyways, everything what Danny said, I think it's very cute. I love it personally because it's very cute and adorable. It loses a lot of its. It just doesn't. It's not executed very well, and so, I think it's almost kind of. And with the two agents at the end, the agent Persicoms at the end, from what I've read just now, it seems like they were supposed to be like. Obviously, they're more elaborated in the manga, right? And it almost kind of seems like the way it was executed in the anime was. Oh shit, we forgot about these guys. Let's put them in there. Holy shit. And then they just got to put them in there. But anyways.
I have a question after you finish.
Oh no, I'm done. That's why I just wanted to say it. Basically, I agree with everything you said and I still enjoy it.
So my question is, do we think that Chobits could deserve like a Fruba reboot?
Oh yeah, it should obviously
like
get
a
one.
More faithful adaptation.
The Fruba treatment, yeah. Somebody who could write it a little better.
Only if they had the opening again.
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about the OP. Like,
I've already
at least like a little bit more.
I've already played it by now, but yeah, like it's so good. It's so good.
It's so good. I don't like the ED, quite frankly.
Yeah,
it's. I think like the
one.
whole show it's the weakest link out of everything. It's really not. It doesn't hit for me.
The only
I
reason
skip it every time.
I have the full ED.
The OP we call it a non-skip.
Oh yeah.
If you're skipping, you're tripping. That's what I say. But yeah, it's funny because you could tell when each of us started watching it because I probably finished it last. And so Nick started watching Chobits a couple weeks ago, and he came in our channel. And he was like, "God, this OP is a bang!" I totally forgot how bang this OP is. And then a week later, Danny comes in. And she's like, she tags Nick, and she's like, "Dude, this is bopping right now. I'm dancing right now." I'm talking this shit. It was funny, dude.
And then you chimed in about it too.
I was just like, "Hell yeah, dude!" And I attacked Trisha talking about Sumomo because Trisha loves Sumomo.
Sumomo was so cute. I love her.
Trisha didn't rewatch all of it with me, but she rewatched the last like 10 episodes with me. So when I was finishing it today, she watched it with me. So that was kind of cool. This is one of the few animes that I share with her too. So that's kind of another reason why I enjoy it as well. But we just really like the characters. But maybe we can review the manga in an EX episode or something. Because
I would love that in all honesty, because I would like to see at least the differences.
Yeah. And this was one of the first, this is their first Clamp story that was geared towards young men. But here in North America, everyone loved it. It was mostly when I was in junior high reading this, it was mostly girls reading it, so but like it has that kind of like that male fantasy kind of thing where you have a girl you can program all your own, do whatever you want for you, that kind of thing. So I think that's why they try to do it like that. I know that Agaya Okawa, who's one of the Clamp artists, she designed Chi to make people as uncomfortable as possible because like she wanted men to be attracted to Chi to make you feel like, is this okay that she's a robot? And again, that was one of the big themes of it, right? So, which was cool. That's something I really dug. So maybe this is just one of those things where the manga is way better. But for me and Danny, I think maybe more so Danny, because we watched it and read it when we were younger. Well, I read it. I didn't watch the anime until like I was an adult. But I
just want to say, I watched this on Crunchyroll, and the episode 24, people get to like make comments and stuff, and a comment from someone from a year ago, they said Hideki, super dumb bonehead who is a closet relationship guru.
He's got that riz.
All right, let's move on to the next one.
Wait. Nick's final thoughts.
We gotta give final thought.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, I think the show was at its best when it was being funny and silly and moe blob.
Yeah.
What do you rate it to?
At the end, I mentioned again. I'm gonna give it. Let's see. Oh, here we go. 5 lost panties out of 10.
Lost panties.
And that's a Nick 5.
Underpants.
I would say it's about average because like at the time it was probably like very good, but there's so much more of the rom-coms that have come out. And we.
Oh yeah, I mean, I will say there's like 10
this
times
influenced
better.
things in the future,
Yeah.
but it like Plastic Memories.
Yeah.
Well, that's a little more dramatic, but
it definitely seemed way gooder when I was younger.
Way gooder.
Way gooder. Okay. My Dannyisms are rubbing off on both of you.
Hey.
I just think it's kind of dumb that it's like the whole point of the show is kind of dumb because like she's a robot, but she has no personality or thoughts or anything really. But she kind of spoilers for the. I'm not going to spoil what happens at the end. I guess there's a little more to it, but it's hard to actually care about Chi besides being like a curiosity. If you don't sense any humanity in her, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
She's like a dog, but like not even flesh. So like, it's funny. I enjoy the comedy bits, and when they did those, it was good. But like, also think like in real life, I know it's an anime, but like in real life, if you had a robot like that, you'd be fucking terrified of it. Like, there's no fucking way I'd let that thing near me.
I mean, it's like AI. Like people fear about AI as well. So
Be like iRobot.
This is just like that because, and that's the whole point of the two like agent persicoms, like because they were trying to invade and make sure that, the Chobits, the Chobits were like a threat at the end of the thing. So, and that was the
were
whole
better than the real.
Yeah, that
humans.
was the whole point of that. So,
I thought I saw some male Chobits too.
there were, yep. Not a lot.
It was like, people aren't dating anymore. They're just dating Chobits. But yeah, that wasn't really the point of it.
Robot
But yeah,
dick. I don't give a fuck.
Oh my god.
What?
some robo pistons.
All
right.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was decent.
Yeah, I give it 6.5 Sumomo exercises out of 10. Maybe 7. I'll give it 7. 7 actually. 7. Because it's like iconic to me. You know what I mean? So 7.
Yeah, and keep in mind I watched it just now. I don't have any nostalgia for it, so it's not really fair.
I'm admitting my bias for sure here. So yeah.
So initially, I have gave it a 7 because of nostalgia reasons. Ideally, it's probably like a 6.5 out of 10 for me. Yeah. So,
I bet you.
I might have been.
I think harsh. I honestly might like the manga more.
I was gonna say that next. I was like, Danny and me probably would enjoy the manga more.
Just play the OP as you read the manga.
Hell yeah.
On repeat.
And then have like the and then the boo the boo jiggle like sound effect anytime something stupid happens.
Porno.
Wow. Sam, if you can find that sound effect, just like put it right there for me.
Okay, yeah. Hey, look, guys, a porno right here.
Don't forget like the boing.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I love it. That was like the best sound effect ever in the whole show.
It's funny, dude. It's funny. This anime had a big staff, okay? And so the only one I really recognize is the director. I don't know anyone else. The only reason I recognize the director is because we did it last time with the last show swap. So there's a few other people on here, like, I'm sure if I click their name, I'll be like, oh, sweet, they did this.
You're still talking about Chobits?
Yeah, Chobits, yes. Yeah. But I just wanted to mention that real quick because we didn't talk about it that much. But all right, let's go on to the next show of the show swap. This one, Nick traded to Danny. Planet Tests. It's 2003. It premiered in the fall season of 2003. 26 episodes. An actual 26 episodes, okay? There's no recaps or nothing like that. Studio Sunrise. I don't know why I put Madhouse there, but it's Sunrise. Directed by Goro Taniguchi. He did Code Geass. He boarded a lot of S-Cryed. He's done a lot of boarding and art direction for Gundam stuff. Based on the manga Planet Test by Makoto Yukimura, he's best known as the manga for the current running manga Vinland Saga. Chief animation directed by Yuriko Chiba, Eiji Nakara, and Seiichi Nakatani. These guys kind of work together to kind of give the kind of overall flow and execution of the show. And so, yeah, in 2075, space travel is no longer just a dream, but an everyday reality for mankind. Advancements in science and technology have led to the colonization of the moon, the commercialization of outer space, and the formation of large space corporations. Ai Tanabe, an upbeat woman whose interests lie in the cosmos, joins Technora Corporation as a member of their debris section, a department dedicated to the removal of dangerous space junk between the orbits of the Earth and the moon. And then, and she discovers that the job is like underappreciated and it's actually like a really hard job. And then she meets the hot-headed, passionate Hachiro Hoshino, who has a dream of having his own spaceship. And it kind of just follows the Technora debris section and cleaning up space junk, which like you find out right away, like is actually super like important. That's like a super important job. You know what I mean? Which like every job is important, right? But anyways, since Nick traded this to Danny, I want to hear Danny's first, just initial thought real quick before we jump into the whole thing. Or I guess, Nick's first thoughts afterwards,
I'm going first. That's right?
Yeah, because we traded it to Nick traded it to
Okay.
You.
I mean, initially I didn't really heard of this show until Nick recommended it. So
I feel like I heard Nick say it like just randomly on a podcast 2 years ago or something.
Yeah. I mean, again, like, yeah.
It was probably me trying to sound it out, how to pronounce it.
It's like that one show, Planetes? Planates? Anyway, sorry, Danny, go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, honestly, I kind of just went in blind, really. Like I mean, obviously from the poster cover, it's going to be in space, and the title itself, like Planet Tests, obviously it's going to be like a sci-fi and everything. So I just didn't know exactly what it was going to be about. I wasn't sure if it was going to be like something along the lines of like Cowboy Bebop or something like that, like, Space Cowboys, all that. So but yeah, I mean, first episode, it was fine. I think it was a little bit of a slow run, in my opinion. So
a little bit like The Wire.
I don't know what The Wire is.
I'm just kidding. That's the meme is that The Wire is like the best TV show.
Yeah, everyone was into that show.
It's a slow burn.
I never heard of it.
I never seen it. I don't know.
You never been to Baltimore?
I don't care to watch it. Wait,
I've seen Nick, anyway.
Sorry, Danny, go ahead. Were you? I
don't know. I mean, overall, like once I was done, I actually fairly enjoyed it. So I actually liked it a lot more than I anticipated. So, or expected, not anticipated. So
my initial thought, just real quick, was I saw the key visual for it, and I was like, okay, this is going to be like one of those what Nick explained to me is hard sci-fi shows. You know, it's like it's like
there's no aliens. It's not space, Danny.
There's no laser beams.
You're not turning into zombies in space.
Yeah, it's like realistic sci-fi. You know what I mean? And so like, I was like, man, I don't know if me and Danny are gonna enjoy this one that much. But then I actually enjoyed it too. So, yeah.
All right, my turn. My first thought, I've already seen it.
Oh my god!
I'm just kidding. So
when did you watch
the reason I watched it is I was on an old Warcraft forum and somebody mentioned it. They're like, it's my favorite anime. So I watched it in like 2000. It might have been 2009 or 2010, give or take. And it was good then. I actually enjoyed it more the second time watching it. So yeah, it reminds me a little bit of the anime, little known anime called Cowboy Bebop. It's totally different. Bebop's a little
known anime.
It's Cowboy Bebop. It's like kind of hard sci-fi, but not really. It's like it's not soft sci-fi. It's like medium, extra medium sci-fi. But it has like similar like character dynamics a little bit. It's also I have to watch this still, but Interstellar I need to watch. Apparently it's a little bit like that, and it's like probably even closer to Gravity. I've seen that one with Sandra.
Oh, Interstellar, like the fucking
the movie with Christopher Nolan. It's kind of like
Matthew McConaughey, yeah,
and like Firefly.
Firefly's good.
It's actually kind of like Firefly a little bit.
Firefly's a little more, yeah.
I feel like Firefly is more like Cowboy Bebop.
Firefly is funny. Firefly is definitely funnier for sure. Although this is a decently funny show. Planet Test is funnier than people give it credit for, but
Firefly has more fantastical things in it than I would say Cowboy Bebop does. But yeah.
There's I forgot about the one enemy, but anyway, so I enjoyed it more the second time. I really like this show. I was hoping you guys could get something out of it, whether or not it's your favorite or not. At least you watched it.
So for me, one of the cool things I thought was like kind of what I said earlier was the job and how their job gets ridiculed, and it's like, actually no, it's a super important job. Like,
yeah, the debris section, they're cleaning up trash. You already mentioned that, but
yeah, and they're
the half section, that's what they're called because they're looked down upon.
Yeah, the half section. And I how they kind of went into that was really cool, and how they had to deal with like fucking assholes. You know, it became a bigger problem than it was. You know, especially the one little spoiled guy, which later he was cool.
Oh man, like, that guy was funny.
Yeah.
See, he's like funnier than you think sometimes.
But that was a theme that I appreciated. I don't know. I mean, and kind of like what Danny said was, in the beginning, it was kind of a slow burn. Like, I feel like it didn't really, for me personally, didn't pick up. I mean, I was still into it. Like, obviously, I wanted to click the next one, but like, it for me, it started really picking up like in between episode 8 and 10. It kind
Same.
of
10. So which episodes were those? So A Place to Cling to and Regrets. That's the titles.
So for
Levy
me,
suspects Fee's having an affair. Okay, go ahead.
What were you saying, Danny?
For me, where it kind of really picked up for me was Extraterrestrial Girl.
That's episode 7. Yep.
Yeah, I believe that's the one where they went to the moon.
Oh,
and
no.
Hachi,
Yeah, that was a great
and Hachi
episode.
met
That was
No and stuff. Like, I loved No. I thought she was like such a great character, and especially for Hachi and everything, because you find out she's a Lunarian, which means she was born on the moon.
Mm-hmm.
And you learn that No is actually 12 years old, but she doesn't look 12. She looks like she's
like 6 feet tall or something. She's really tall.
she looks like she's between like 16, 17, but she's actually 12. And with Lunarians, there's only like 4 in this universe. Excuse me.
There are dozens of us. Dozens.
And apparently with Lunarians, that is a tongue twister of a word.
Just call them moonfolk.
Moonfolk, yeah. Their bodies age faster than what their actual age is. So they're like I believe it's something has to do with like their immune system or something, but
It's also the gravity just pulls their body.
Right. And their lung capacity won't be able to like go down to earth. Like,
yeah, they're too weak.
Yeah, like they would definitely have a hard time breathing on Earth than they do up in space. So, and there was a time, I believe it was around when I think this was like the beginning where like Hachi had oh crap. I think the reason why he was at the hospital was because of what happened in the previous episode with the freaking ninjas and everything.
Oh yeah. So that was the ninjas episode. Yeah,
I hated that. That
might have been
so stupid.
That's kind of like the magma diver episode of this show.
Magma diver.
I was just like, oh my god, this is too much.
I thought it was kind of funny, but yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
But I think that like in that previous episode, Hachi got into an accident or something, and that's why he was at the lunar hospital, and that's where he met No, and you know, she really kind of, I feel like No really opened up Hachi's eyes to a lot of things and kind of lightened on his arrogance, and you know, him pushing so much and just being mean to Ai a lot. And the fact, and also the fact that, you know, she can never see the ocean or anything like that, because
that was a great scene, by the way.
That scene when they went out in space, like in their suits, and they went out in space and everything, and she saw, you know, she kneels down and she like grabs, you know, some moon sand or whatever, moon gravel, whatever you want to call it, and she just like throws it up in the air, and then it cuts into
that's Krusty the Clown dust right there.
It cuts into her you know, in like the actual ocean and on the beach and everything like that. It was
probably my favorite cut of the whole show. Moment. Just that little like gif.
Yeah. I really enjoyed that episode. That's honestly where it really picked up for me.
I think all of the beginning episodes for me were actually really good, except the ninjas one was kind of the weakest. The first couple were good. Episode 3 was actually good with the annual will and testament thing, and then they had to convince the family to let the astronaut.
Oh yeah,
that was good.
That episode, I mean, that's one that got me. I was like, okay, I'm into this bitch now. Like I was the funeral one, or where they find the body. Yeah.
Episode 4 with Colin's introduction, the spoiled kid. He's really funny because he's kind of like a masochist.
Too.
He loves Ai Tanabe because she punches him, so he's like super into her. But yeah,
man,
he's annoying. But like I like that kind of character. Now in real life, I probably wouldn't, but in the show, it's funny to me. But I would say the first couple episodes started out for me pretty well because like the whole point of the first episodes is like introducing the characters in the world and everything. And they do a great job of like interconnecting everything and making all the characters like unique feeling and goofy. They feel like a family almost. I just like all the characters, so that's why those first ones worked. But yeah, you're right about the ninja episode. That was just goofy.
Yeah. It was a little bit out of place, in my opinion. I was just like, oh, this is weird. I mean, it kind of made sense in a way, but like the whole fact that, you know, the apartment that those people were living in was the place that Tachibana was going to be at and everything. And it was just...
You have to be our female ninja.
Yeah, like it's just so weird. I was just like, why is this? What? I don't understand. And then they were all like, oh, both of you are Japanese, right? Like you guys are like, you know everything about ninjas and everything like that. It's just like, oh my God.
It's true.
What is this?
You're Mexican? I love menudo. Menudo's great.
Where's your sombrero?
Yeah, where's your... I heard you people like tequila a lot.
Yeah.
Which I do. I like the silver Patron.
Oh, you're white? You find mustard spicy. Not mustard. Mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise spicy. Oh, Nick, you're white? I like Michael Jackson.
No.
Michael Jackson's great. No, the music is. I agree. I think that was as Danny brought up how Nono kind of softened Hachiroda a lot, the main guy, which I appreciated because he was super. That might have been another reason why I didn't like the first half. Yeah,
he was a dick, but I liked him. See, okay, so this is funny because in the beginning I actually liked Hachiroda's arrogance in the beginning.
He's just the male version of Tanabe. Like they're both kind of dickheads.
I mean, no,
he's kind of like a misogynist too. I think not really.
I think Tanabe was just annoying in general because she was like the goody two shoes. She was like straight laced by the book.
So it's worse to be a goody two shoes than to be a dick.
Right. Whereas we
need to tier rank all of these.
With like Hachiroda, he's been there for a hot minute, and so like he obviously knows the ropes and everything, and he's
a blue collar, salt of the earth kind of guy.
Here comes Tanabe with like, we're not supposed to do that. Like we're supposed to do this and
by the book.
By the book and
But here's
all
the thing:
this
they're
stuff.
in space. Technically, they should do every single thing by the book in space because they could die.
Technically, they should, but they don't.
Yeah, that's the funny part about the debris section is it's like she walks into every other section and it's all orderly and upright and everything. And then the debris section is just like Lavi, the Indian guy, just walks up. He's like dressed up in like a fucking weird outfit, like, bro, welcome.
He is he is such a gossiper.
I love that. He's one of my favorite characters.
He was up everybody's ass on like, I can't remember which one, but like he was so like talkative and like he wanted to know everything and anything, and
he's an entertainer. He's a people pleaser,
and like I think it really clicked with me when I realized that he was just like the gossiper of the group was when they were like in a lunch hall thing and Fee was talking to what's his name?
Yuri. Oh,
No. She used to work with him.
One of the higher ups in like control panel or whatever.
One of the higher ups that
Dorf Azalea. I think that's it.
I think so.
I'll link it, but I think that's it. Assume that's him.
But he became the like vice president of the whole. Yes, that's him. Yeah. So Dorf, she was talking to him because he wanted to promote her into control section because she's been here for a long time. And she knows what she's talking about and stuff. And the group can't hear their conversation because they were up in a balcony or something like that. And they're all like, oh, what's Fee doing talking to Doff? Like, are they having an affair? And that's when Levy just went all out and he's like, I gotta find out if it's an affair. And like he like goes through all his connections and everything and it ends up not being what that was. So
he is the gayest guy with a family ever.
He has like 7 kids or something.
He has so many kids. The ultimate cover. Nobody will suspect with that many kids.
I will say I didn't think he was ever going to develop like as a character and as a human being. Like I always thought he was gonna be, this can't really do anything. He's just this supervisor assistant for debris section on paper, and like I didn't think I thought he was just going to be a useless character and everything.
He kind of is, but that's what makes him funny.
Majority of the show he was, but then I think like close to the end, actually that episode where they all found out that Fee was going to get promoted, and so that she wasn't going to be part of debris section. So they wanted to do a job on their own without Fee. So they lied to her that like the job got rescheduled. And
so him and Philippe went out into space.
Yeah. And Levy went with them and everything. And he was controlling the arm and stuff like that, but then he started start panicking and everything. And that's when
the Aqua yell.
Yeah. He was really doing the Aqua yell. He's like, I can't do this. Like, I only can do this while it's on paper. I can't actually do this job. Yeah, but then he actually did it. I mean, of course, with the assistance of Fee herself, like she found out like that they lied to her, and she was all like, those assholes. Like, I told them that I would go. Yeah. So, and she like barged into the control section and like took the headset and started communicating.
Oh yeah, she gave them like instructions. Yeah.
Yeah. And oh gosh, I mean, that whole episode, there was just a bunch of growth, I feel like, for a bunch of people.
That was one of the early. Which one was that, or what?
Oh,
roughly
I wish I remembered.
Okay, we'll figure it out later. No big deal. But anyway, I liked Fee a lot as well. She was one of my favorite characters. She was fun. She's probably like she's like probably the best side character. I don't know. They're all good.
I don't know. I think between her and Yuri, I really liked Yuri.
Yuri has a really good overarching story.
And his story as well. Like his whole reason on why he's part of Debris Section was just like super heartwarming and heartfelt and stuff. So
I was gonna say the thing about Yuri, that was the one of the bigger moments of showing you why their job was important.
Yes.
And it was just, that's another part of the show where I was kind of like, okay, now holy shit, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, fuck, this is really cool. Because the thing about this too, right? And I thought about it. The mangaka, Makoto Yukimura, he does Vinland Saga, right? And the thing about Vinland Saga is like the first part of Thorfinn's life is full of just violence and action and all this cool Viking savagery and whatever. But that's not the point of the show. The point of the show is this big theme about peace and life and the evolution of the human love and all that stuff, right? And then so like with Planet Test, it's a bigger theme than just like being an astronaut going through space and having a space adventure. It's like this like you shouldn't look down on the people who like could potentially save your life, right?
Right. No matter how like low ranked their job is and everything. That's what I really noticed about the whole, I mean, especially in the earlier episodes, how other employees reacted to Debris Section and stuff. They always use the term half section, and they always made fun of them and talked about them as half section in front of their face. And but then you have someone like Dorf, where someone like Claire, who works in control section, is talking to Dorf, and she goes, I can't remember a phrase, but she used the phrase half section in front of Dorf, and Dorf automatically like corrected her and pretty much flat out was saying, we wouldn't be up here if it wasn't for them. So put a little, R in respect. Yeah. Like,
So he is having an affair with Fee. I knew it.
No, he's not. He's not.
But like
he likes some dirty.
But that's kind of like what I noticed. I was like in Yukimura's writing, it's like there's like he's showing before telling. You know what I mean? It's just it's really cool. And that's what kind of like and also this too, what you guys were talking about the cast of characters too, like there's so many characters in not just the half section, but then like later when you meet Hakeem and
Hakeem
characters.
Yep. Claire is in control. She's Hoshino's former girlfriend.
Yeah.
And she has like a big arc.
Yeah.
I don't think
Aitan-based friend Lucy. She's trying to get with Colin.
Yeah. and then Tian Chin, you know, the other guy who
Oh yeah, that guy.
he initially likes I at first, but then and
then the sensei too. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
the sensei guy, the sensei guy.
Gigalt, yeah.
And then he like didn't want Hachi.
No, don't say it.
I won't say it. Actually, I won't say it. Yeah, that's a big part. But like things like that what Nick kind of mentioned earlier, the word he used was I believe like how the characters intertwine and interact with each other, and how I kind of has to come in the middle of that makes for good antics and drama between the characters in the middle of this of this really huge issue that the current world faces, with how they're gonna do this with the space station, and then it becomes an issue of it turns in this one theme of like how everyone's job is important turns into a bigger thing of the haves and have-nots, and how people on Earth were treated and people on Jupiter were treated.
Well, nobody's on Jupiter, but
that's right.
They're about to travel to Jupiter.
Yeah.
Oh, I think you mean the moon.
The moon. Yeah, the moon.
Moon folk,
and how it's like, oh well, as soon as all the fucking rich people fucked up everything down here, they just ran to space.
Yeah.
And
one thing I had about that though was that they're like, oh, we're not going to use labor or parts from a poor country. It's like, no, other way around. That's they would exploit the poor country for cheap labor. In real life, that's what they would do.
Yeah,
maybe not super poor, but you know what I mean. Anyway, I don't want to get into real life stuff. But.
I was like, thank God they kept this fiction by doing it that way. Otherwise, I would have hated it more. But no, yeah, exactly. It turns into this, and it does it seamlessly too. It's not like it just one is inserted in the other.
Yeah, it's about the second, third, or the last third of the show, give or take.
Yeah, like it's all part of it.
It's all part of it.
Yeah, it all grows into this bigger. You know, it progresses nicely, and which is cool. Which is I ended up enjoying it more than I thought I would.
Sam, I don't think you mentioned your favorite character.
Oh, it's Smoker Lady.
Oh, Fee.
That's Fee.
Yeah. Fee, yeah.
Fee was funny. Is she voiced by the same?
She's
Wendy Lee.
Yeah.
She did Faye Valentine.
She did Faye Valentine.
Yep.
Yeah.
We watched it all in dub, right? Or did you guys watch? Sub?
I watched some of the sub, and then I changed it to dub just because
that was really good in this one.
I was like, you know what? I'm watching dub. I'm gonna dub these.
This is one of the best anime dubs I've watched.
It's a really good. Yeah, and Steve Blum is in it too. He plays Tian Chin, and I don't know.
Yeah, he does. Holy crap!
Yeah,
I still like Dorf's voice actor. I like. It doesn't list it on Mal, but whoever voiced him, good job.
Good job.
My anime list sucks.
And even Nono's voice, I believe. Laura.
Nono had a really goofy voice, but it worked.
Laura Jill, yeah, she's another actor that, and she's in Digimon. She plays Hikari in Digimon, which is funny because in Chobits we had the Digimon actor who played Izzy as Kokobunji. But yeah,
she also plays Haru from Beastars.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. Her like I think they just she just started voice acting again, because on AniList it
skips. There's a big gap.
Literally a huge gap. Her last job that she did was back in 2007.
And then jumped into Kingdom Hearts back cover.
And then yeah.
Which is a movie. You guys should watch it if you're into Kingdom Hearts. But yeah, dude,
she's also in Lucky Stars.
That's what happens too. Like these, and I think another reason why I decided to watch it in dub was because this was around the time this show and Chobits was around the time I started kind of watching anime a little less. Kind of like in the late junior high times.
Well, these were not on Adult Swim, I don't think.
They were not.
Cartoon Network.
I think Toonami tried to show Chobits once, like or something. I don't know.
It was too weird.
There was also those anime network channels that you can only get on the super cool cable.
Chobits is like such a weeb anime. You can't show that to a regular person.
No, it was very weeb. Yeah, it was very.
Planet Test, you definitely could. This is like this is so normie. But for whatever reason, like this one, I don't even think it's officially streaming anywhere right now.
It's not.
It's not.
So you'd have to buy it. You can buy them online. You can buy like the BDs and stuff. There's expensive versions and like more affordable versions. Or you could just sail the high seas. I think it was on YouTube, actually. I found a bunch of it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Or was that Chobits, actually? But anyway, Chobits I found on YouTube.
But I think I remember when the Sci-Fi Channel used to play anime late at night.
Oh my gosh, I remember that.
They definitely would have showed Planet Test.
The one side tangent. Oh, the one show that I remember seeing on Sci-Fi was Kyo the Samurai.
Oh hell yeah.
I had no idea what it was about, but I remember watching like one episode.
I remember watching Armitage 2 and Fatal Fury on Sci-Fi. It was cool.
I still haven't seen Legatage.
Oh,
okay. I know. I understand it's November, but like, it's early, so just, cool it. Right. Like, fuck. That being said, one thing that I did want to mention too, one of the chief animation directors, Seiichi Nakatani, also did the mechanical design.
Oh God. Strap in. We got 10 minutes of mechanical talk.
Shut up.
And then it goes like, Braun, strong, crash.
So because there wasn't enough announcing of rocket punches.
Yeah.
No,
that is true.
I like, so in this kind of, when you're doing this kind of mechanical design for hard sci-fi like this, it's you got to do your best to make it make sense. So like when they were showing how the ships, this is another great example of something this show does really well, which is show and not tell. The little ships they use to go out and strap the garbage to, those are really cool. The ship, the toy box, which is the ship they're on, was really cool. There's this later arc where they're building this new space station called the Von Braun.
The Von Braun.
Yeah.
The Von Braun.
The Von Braun.
The Ahahan.
The Von.
It's German.
That's German.
I think I heard
Where's Gizmo?
Yeah, Gizmo built it. Gizmo knows every German.
How we're doing the thing like we did earlier. Oh, Gizmo, you're German.
know.
I love Rammstein.
Oh, you're Mexican. You must know.
Yeah.
I don't. Who's the famous?
You must know Ricky Martin or something.
Yeah.
You like George Lopez? I love George Lopez.
Who's that girl who made that song? Rodriguez?
Jennifer Lopez?
Olivia
Rodrigo? Rodrigo?
Oh, I don't know what her name is. Yeah. That sounds Mexican. All right, moving on.
Oh my God. Anyway.
I think she's Hispanic. I don't remember. She might be.
She's an honorary one at the very least.
Yeah,
she is now.
Like, yeah. She's invited to the quinceanera. But like, no, like fucking. Yeah, like, when they were doing the Von Braun, the Von German or whatever, they were.
And this was in the last like portion. This is the last arc. There was like 1.5 arcs at the beginning, and then this arc at the end.
Yeah, which kind of culminates everything, which is really nice. And this is not a spoiler, but like they're explaining some parts. They're cleaning some parts of the inside of the room that comes before that goes into the engine, and it's these things called the reflective something or other. But like they kind of explain how it works, which is really cool, and it mechanically makes sense without it. And for somebody who's like slow like me, and as much as I love mecha stuff, sometimes in anime, whether it's the dub or sub, doesn't matter. They'll use lingo that's kind of like, oh, I don't really care about that. I don't really know if I know what that means.
Oh, it's just jargon. It's just
it's just like lingo.
It's just made up words half the time.
Yeah,
this one's probably
made up mechanics talk. You know what I mean? And in this case, they kind of still did that, but like it's like made sense to you. And I think that's important for this kind of mechanical design because it's realistic space stations and ships and stuff. In 2075, I could see like these ships being real things. You know what I mean? Like in the future, at some point, I could see them being like that's what you would actually use. You know what I mean? It's more realistic to me than like the Voyager from Star Trek or whatever, that kind of thing. Or even, I don't know, even some Star Wars ships seem a little bit more realistic than that, I guess. But
is it just me? Is it just me, or did anyone else get like Elon Musk vibes by Warner Locksmith?
Oh, he was better. He was more likable than Elon Musk. He's just a one-track kind of guy. At least he didn't buy a social media company.
I mean,
and run into the ground. Yeah.
He's
this guy knows how to shut up and dribble. All right.
I guess. I think he's still
That's all he does,
though.
Yeah, well, he is. Yeah.
Hachiroda became more of a dick in like the whole Von Braun thing.
Yeah, because he got the space.
What's going on with you, dude?
He got the space sickness, and then he
yeah,
was, like, scared. So
that was scary. In all honesty, I was like, "Holy shit, what's going to happen with him?"
Him and I finally started dating.
Mm-hmm.
Spoilers. I mean, you could figure it out right away. Like, I think even Edel, one of their
that was in the middle of episode 13, which episode 13 was another favorite of mine. I've really enjoyed them going back to Earth and meeting, like, I and Yuri got to meet Hachiroda's family, like his little brother and everything. And his little brother and Yuri were bonding because Hachi's brother wanted to become an engineer, and which the little brother is voiced by JYB, just so you know.
It's a Trigun prequel.
A Trigun prequel, yeah, sure. And that episode 13 also kind of went into, because Yuri ended up finding his late wife's compass, and something happens to the compass in episode 13, and that was like
flushes it down the toilet.
Super hard. No, he didn't flush it down the toilet. Yeah. So, and that's kind of like when, Hachi and Tanabe's relationship kind of sparked a little bit, but then all of a sudden, like, I think.
Oh, it was sparking the whole time.
I don't know how to respond to that.
It was sparking. They just didn't hold hands. Neither of them could admit it. They
almost kissed in episode 13. But then they got
scandalous.
Then they got interrupted by the rocket. So
I have a question, actually. Can people have sex in space?
Yeah, why not?
How does that even work? Well, there's like physics and shit that fuck with you.
Nah, man, you just
like
do
the gravity and whatnot.
They got those like bars to hold on to.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like literally like your blood pressure and stuff is going to be all fucked up. Like all the radiation. I don't know.
They have,
let's Google it.
You get cancer up in space. So
it's plausible. I Googled it.
I don't know. I'm not an astronaut. I wouldn't know.
I think Nick just doesn't want me to say something horny. You can't keep me from having sex in space.
I'm not saying should you. I'm saying, is it physically possible to get a boner?
A boner?
Oh, God. I don't know.
One last thing I want to say, boners aside, is
because that would be very important if you're gonna like populate outward.
If you're gonna populate outward, he said.
Otherwise, you got to park on a planet. You got to park at the planet, the truck stop planet.
Hey, pull over here, and we're gonna have a little in-and-out session.
Here at Planet Glory Hole, we take our sex seriously.
We make sure the gravity is just enough so you can bounce up and down. Fucking Nick.
That like they did go to a hotel to do it.
Oh yeah,
and there was no gravity there.
They got close.
Like, I mean, there was gravity there, not no gravity. There was gravity there,
but it was like controlled gravity. Yeah.
Yeah.
That must have been on the moon or something.
I don't know.
No, it was on their ship thing.
Damn, this is a big ship.
Yeah,
it wasn't it wasn't like their toy box thing. It was like the facility that they worked at. Like there's a whole shop. There's like a whole shopping center in that place. That's where Tachibana and Hachi tried to like go out on a date, but they kept ending up bumping into someone they knew. And then that's when I can't remember who mentioned it, but someone that they ran into was all like, you shouldn't really have your date here. Like if you guys really want to be alone, you might as well go to the hotel so that you can be alone, because everyone on the ship knows everybody. So like you're gonna run into people.
They're all boinking.
You think they got a hot topic in there?
Apparently there's a thing called space Viagra.
He's
I'm
actually
Googling stuff right
this
now.
man actually looked it up. No,
I don't know if they could actually ejaculate though. Maybe they just have a boner.
Anyway,
what I was gonna say was,
the only important thing is that the male can finish, as I'm trying to figure out here.
God damn it, dude! I swear to God.
For procreation purposes only.
Just you're out of line already, man. I can't even deal with it. No, fucking there is this, and you know what? I don't recognize it by looking up the character designer for the show, but the art style, it kind of reminds me of, I kind of like this more realistic art style from time to time. I'm trying to remember which Gundam. It kind of reminds me of 0083, Gundam 0083, you know, where it's not so anime, it's not so moe looking, you know what I mean? Like it's a little more realistic looking. I like that. And it's not like it's not super close to the manga style, you know, but
Yuriko Chiba did character design. I'm looking.
Yeah, and I didn't recognize
art director Shigemi Ikeda.
I haven't seen the other work that they've done character designs for, so that's why I didn't really. But like I know I've seen this similar style in other anime before, and I dig that. I haven't watched an anime like this in a while, which is kind of cool. But so also another.
It's almost like Satoshi Kon type characters. Or Satoshi Kon,
like a Satoshi Kon, you know, they have that more realistic style. You know what I mean? So like another thing that I wanted to mention too, but before I guess kind of because my final thought is, I really want to read the manga, because this was, and this might have been why it was a little slow for me at some parts, but this was 26 episodes adapted from 4 volumes of manga.
So is that relatively slow?
That's like, you know, like
that's pretty slow, I think, isn't it?
Yeah. To put it into perspective, Chobits is 8 volumes, 24 episodes.
Yeah, but Chobits could skip after that. Just kidding.
I mean, yeah, maybe, but like this is
actually, but also
Chobits felt rushed at the end. They felt rushed at the end.
Chobits also had 2 recaps, so
yeah, that's why I said 24, not 26.
Oh,
Chobits,
I'm sorry.
Chobits needed needed a few more episodes for sure.
Yeah, Chobits needed. Well, and it kind of makes you wonder how quick they got into it in the manga for Chobits, right? But so when I was doing some of that reading, I found out that apparently the manga ends completely different than the anime does.
In what? In Chobits or this?
In this Planetes. Yeah.
Oh, does the Von Braun explode, killing everyone aboard?
I don't know.
The end.
Maybe like you know. But apparently a lot of people say that the anime ending sucks, which I disagree with.
No, the anime ending was good.
I thought it was
a good ending.
I liked it. Yeah. I mean,
maybe the manga has a better ending. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. But like, I watched this first, so I'm not gonna fucking know how it feels. I guess. You know what
I'm not even gonna read it. I'm just gonna assume it's better.
Yeah. I don't know how Danny felt. You know, I want to hear Danny's final thoughts last, I guess, because you're the one who traded it to her, and then afterwards, you know, we can decide who got the better trade, I guess. But you know, yeah, I don't know if you have any more other thoughts, Nick.
Let's see. So we mentioned the what do you call it? The geopolitical strife that was happening.
Yeah.
So Claire and I'm not going to spoil anything, but Claire and Hakeem I think they're both El Tanican, or she is for sure, and El Tanika is like a made up country. And so she's working to like improve her country's standing and everything. And she also works with another guy who builds like suits. That was a whole episode where they tried to... Well,
that was like she wasn't working with him. Like nobody wanted to listen to the Eltonican about the spacesuit. And so she was put in charge of trying to get someone from each of the sections of the spaceship to test run the spacesuit, but no one wanted to do it other than the debris section. So that's
section.
And that's when like the Eltonican realized that Claire was also Eltonican, and she never really thought of her heritage, like, because she mentioned she was born there, but then her folks moved to America right away and stuff, and that's pretty much like where she grew up, and then she moved up to space. So she never really thought of like her Eltonican heritage until she met that
Hakeem.
space no, not Hakeem, the guy that was trying to sell his spacesuit and everything, because he made
spacesuit guy.
Yeah, he made her feel like she was doing good because she was in a high ranking position. So that, I guess, like kind of like inspired her and opened her eyes to, changing the way that she like process things and her way of thinking in general about society and stuff. And that's kind of when things took a turn. And I also feel like what really got her, I think, to get with Hakeem was when she saw Tanabe and Hachiroda together. Because I feel like deep inside, like, yeah, they were broken up, but I feel like Claire kind of still had some sort of feelings for Hachi.
Oh, he did too for a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I feel like she was just lost and everything. So
that's why let this be a lesson. Never break up. Just add more people to your flock.
Anyway, I'm not going to comment on that.
Join us. All right. But we also got to mention real quick the sensei and this guy's name, Gigalt Gangaragash.
He was cool.
I butchered that name. That guy was super cool. He was Hakeem and Hoshino's sensei, and he was like basically an astronaut, one of the earlier astronauts,
astronautical mentor.
And his whole story was very powerful. So, without spoiling anything of what happens with all that, I enjoyed that part a lot. It also that kind of also tied into to Hoshino's like attitude near the end, or near the last third of the show, kind of the whole show really, like where he like writing out his will. He didn't write anything in his will. And like Ai's like, how can you do that? You gotta show people that you love them. Love is everything. And like she's always saying that like love can solve all the problems.
Right.
And then later on, like she writes nothing in her will for a second. And I wrote this down. Let's see. So in Ai Tanabe's will, she didn't know what to write. Nobody knew what to write. But like she eventually changed from her idealistic self and realized that the universe is connected and you can't live alone or something. I don't know. Something like that. They both realize that in different ways. Like, because so later in the show, there's like a big event, like a terrorist attack happens. Everybody's involved. It's out in space. It's near the moon. It's on the ship. And a bunch of stuff happens. And like the fallout from that show like teaches them a lot of things. So that was a really cool part. I would say the show got less funny at the end though.
Well, I mean that's the whole point. Like
I know. I enjoyed the early parts a lot because of the humor, but yeah, like it was very good the whole way through. Like it went into more of like a drama, like almost like a thriller drama at the end.
I feel like we're giving praise to it a lot. Like, is there anything that we didn't like? aside from it being
One more
like a
piece
slow
of
burn.
praise. Dark Horse Best Girl, Edel, secretary.
Ah, yes.
Secretary.
She was hilarious. Or she was the temp worker. She was funny. All right.
No,
Stuff
I
we
guess,
didn't like.
Yeah, I guess the fact that there was that it was slow in the beginning, but I mean afterwards it was fine. But there were some times where the animation took a dip a little bit. The animation quality took a little dip. And it wasn't super noticeable.
I didn't notice anything.
I mean, it was to me, but like, I guess it wasn't enough for me to. It's enough for me to just mention it real quick and not like go into it. You know what I mean? So it's not a big deal. I will say it was kind of refreshing to watch this style of animation after watching a bunch of new stuff lately. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh.
We're always doing seasonal stuff, but like
This looked better than Chobits for sure.
yeah,
I mean,
well, not talking about style, just like the actual like quality of it. They had different styles of character design or whatever, but
yeah, like in terms of animation quality, like there was
just the animation level.
Obviously Chobits, when it had like the really serious and crazy moments, it was really nice, and same thing with this, except it was a tad more consistent. But then
the thing is, Sunrise is like one of the best studios when it comes to like how good it looks.
Yeah, Sunrise. They were,
especially during this time, they were really good.
Yeah.
They got that Gundam money,
which is why like a lot of the animation directors and other key animators you'll see listed on here have worked on a bunch of Gundam stuff as well. But other than that, I mean, there wasn't the rest of the stuff that I may have negative critiques about, I guess, are personal things to me just because the genre is not like my favorite genre. Like, you know what I mean? The kind of sci-fi I like is
not enough robo punches.
Not enough robo punches and fucking. And there should be more Face Johnsons. There wasn't enough Face Johnsons. I wanted to know more about the character. Was it Yuri who took care of all the animals? I wanted to,
there was animals. Yeah.
I need a whole arc of just all the animals.
Oh no, Edel had like that mascot, right? The pink furry mascot or whatever. She had a bunch of those things. And then somebody gifted Hoshino one and it like expanded.
Press the button.
And then his dad dressed up as one. Oh, we didn't talk about the dad either, but like the dad and the Von Braun arc were a whole thing, and his brother and family and all that, and his mom talking to Tanabe.
That being said, it's almost like it's kind of hard to talk about all of it. There was a lot to the show in 26 episodes. And I think that's a good thing. I say that as a positive because there was just so much to consume. But I don't feel like I need to watch it again, which is awesome, which means you did everything you were supposed to do. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Anyways, sorry. That was my
I would say this. Oh, go ahead. Actually, does Danny want to go first or should I? Doesn't matter.
I think Danny should go last just because you traded it to her.
Are we doing final thoughts?
That was my final thought, if anything. You know what I mean?
I think this was a better romance than Chobits.
Sorry, I should have said that.
I think this is one of my personal favorite shows from the 2000s. Granted, I haven't seen everything from this era, but it's a pretty Nick show. I just love the character interactions and all the dynamics between everybody. There's some nitpicks. I'd say that the first 2/3 were I enjoyed more than the last third overall, because it just got a little teensy bit too serious at the end, but it was still great. The part with Nono meeting Hakim at the end was awesome. Like the quote,
oh yeah,
where she's like, "From here, you can't see any borders or countries or armies. All you can see is the earth." And like, won't say what happens, but yeah, it's a great scene. And then the very end, like the last episode where I guess we're gonna spoil it. Like, I don't want to spoil it. Okay, the last episode, the scene with Hoshino and I in space. I'll say that. That was a great scene. Yeah, I liked the whole show overall. I liked it more the second time around. I'm gonna give it. I think this is one of the better character dramas. This is like my favorite workplace anime.
Yeah,
actually,
I think
call
it that. Yeah,
it actually is listed as a workplace theme on my anime list.
Yeah.
because it shows the interconnectedness of everything and everyone working together. And there's a lot of like very strongly written characters of all different varieties. It's not just like, oh, only the females are good, or only the males are good, or only the kids are good, or whatever. You know, it's everybody is like, you know, contributing. So I like that about it. So I'm gonna give this, let's see, 9 dead wife necklaces out of 10.
Oh no, so morbid.
Damn. I'm gonna give it, before Danny gives her final thoughts and score, I want to give it, you know what, dude, straight up, 8 pieces of garbage out of 10. Space debris.
Wait,
garbage.
Did you hate it or did you like it?
No, I liked it a lot.
I know, but you gave it garbage though. I'm
you gave it trash. Yeah, no, seriously, yeah, straight up. Okay, Danny, go ahead.
Yeah, so I definitely enjoyed this a lot more than I anticipated that I thought I you know, I don't know, I mean, again, like my first impression was like, I look at it, I look at the cover and, you know, doesn't really, the cover
There's a
really
screw on the cover.
Yeah, there's literally
Terrible.
just a person reaching out for a screw on the cover, and that's it. So, you know, it's not really the cover is not really like telling you the story of the show, really. So you kind of just have to jump in and find out. And Tanabe, not my favorite character. I don't really like her too much. Even when she got better overall, like I started to like her, especially at the end of the show, and Hachi was starting to become the asshole and like literally just ignoring her, and you know,
he was turning into his dad.
Literally turning into his dad, and you know, wants to get on the Von Braun, and like he wants to go and do that for 7 years and blah blah blah, like literally just cutting off his human emotion. I mean, even during the test of like to get on the Von Braun, and that like tennis celebrity or whoever influencer, she like cut her air tube and she was like practically drowning. She was losing air, and like literally all three contendants went to go save her, and Hachiroto was the only one that like just ignored her and passed and stuff. So
but he did the right thing though.
Did he though?
Well,
I don't
Werner,
know.
what's his name? He explained it. He's like, yeah, if you don't do that, then the whole ship goes down. So one person dead is less bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to get into that because like I could debate about that.
Danny's a mass murderer
all day. So, but
Danny's like, we're all going together.
If I go, you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, and I did not like the flying squirrel episode. I thought that was stupid.
Was that the ninja one?
That was the ninja one. Yeah.
Yeah, we're in agreement. That was the weakest.
Like, I don't know why they put that there. I'm really curious on.
It was goofy. I mean, it's better there than at the end of the show.
Yeah, that's true. So, but yeah, I mean, aside from all those things that I didn't like, you know, that there were moments in the show that really spoke to me a lot, especially with Yuri. I really connected with Yuri the most out of the crew. So, and of course, like his sole mission on the reason why he was part of debris section was to find his late wife's compass and stuff. So that really was just like very sentimental. And of course, you know, the climax on like the true meaning of the compass and everything. Another thing that we've kind of forgot to talk about was the music.
The OP and ED, the music,
OP and ED,
sound effects.
yes, OP and ED, fantastic. I really enjoyed it a lot. Both of them songs are super catchy. I wouldn't really say that the OP is like fantastic visual wise. I feel like the ED has more of the visual aesthetic versus the opening. I feel like a lot of the early 2000 openings are kind of just character montages. Like they just show you kind of like character, like the characters and all that kind of stuff. So there's really no pizzazz on like how OPs are like today and stuff. So
yeah, like a JoJo OP from today.
A JoJo or even like from this season, the Spy Family opening. Early 2000 OPs aren't like that. I mean, if there are, I would have to like really look for them. But overall, at least the shows from the early 2000s that I have watched, the songs are super catchy, but the visuals for the openings really aren't like pizzazz or, there's not a lot of glamour for them and stuff. So
I've noticed that a lot of music and soundtracks I feel are not as good. There's not as much good music now. I don't want to sound like a fucking boomer, but like
I can.
That's true for like the new Mario game too, right? Like old Mario music, like
I haven't played it,
fucking
so
untouchable, dude. So
I don't know.
I'm just commenting. Even this like Zelda, like there's some good stuff. Old Zelda, best music. Ocarina of Time, you can't beat that soundtrack. All right,
if we get into video game music, I'm gonna get really boomerish and elder millennial. So I'm gonna.
It stopped being good after 1994.
Okay, let's save it for the video game podcast.
Back in my day, we had real people music. We had Avril Lavigne and Blink 182 and Cannibal Corpse. Kelly Clarkson. Anyways, I wasn't a big fan of the OP or ED, but
you didn't like. I love the OP. That was good. Yeah. All right.
But anyways,
the songs I really liked. But another thing that I really enjoyed was when they were actually in space and there was no sound.
Yeah, because that's how it should be.
Right. Yeah.
It's not like Star Wars where it's like
pew pew pew.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it was just silence and everything, and I thought that was really cool. They definitely made it realistic and how it's supposed to. How space is supposed to be. So I did I even score it? I don't even know if I scored it.
No, we were waiting for you to give your final.
No, I know. I was thinking, oh, okay, yeah, I did score
on
it.
Your analyst.
I meant like on like Annie list.
On your anal.
I may bump it up because initially I gave it a 7.5, but I will bump it up to an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, see, that's what I was. It's always funny because like I'll say what I think, like after watching it, and then when we come to talk about it on the podcast, I'm like, okay, well, hold on, bro. Like,
yeah. I'm like, oh,
it either goes up or down.
I actually liked it initially. So yeah, I'm gonna give it 8 out of 10 of the pink mascot thing.
I was gonna say that, but I couldn't find the name.
I don't know what the name was either.
Yeah, but it was something
pink fluffy guy.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice one. Okay.
You could give it 8 out of 10 astronaut diapers.
Oh
Diaper
God,
man.
no! I hated that
Diaper man,
part.
yeah,
honestly, I literally hate every time I heard freaking Tanabe's friends that like the English person saying diaper man. I like cringed every time.
Man?
You mean diaper man? And I'm just like, oh my God, enough with the diaper man, please. Like,
fucking funny, dude. Oh, that's good stuff. Hey, good show swap. I'm gonna say this. As much as I love Chobits, I feel like because Nick, that was your first time watching Chobits, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And that was our first time watching Planet Test too. So like, I kind of feel like me and Danny love Chobits for biased reasons.
Yeah, the nostalgia type stuff.
You know, fucking even though it was targeted towards young men, it was like a lot. It was and here in North America, it was a big girl thing. So like, I don't know, but like, I feel like I don't even know if I can say who got the better trade. I honestly think Danny got the better. I think Danny got the better one. I think.
Well, depending if we base just on how we scored it, then yeah, I guess we've already kind of like questioned this. So like whoever scores it better, or no, if you give them something and they score it higher, then that whatever. Yeah. I'm glad that I watched Chobits. I don't feel like I lost or anything.
Sure. Yeah,
but I do enjoy Planet Test more. So
sure.
And I can't speak for Danny, but
yeah. What do you think, Danny? What do you think you got You think you paid too much for those Air Jordans or what? Dude, some people
Never mind.
I'm just imagining
Jordans.
Danny
I never
dunking
bought
right
Air
now.
Dude,
Jordans.
the fucking 1985.
Danny just
Air
rolls
Force
up to a court and dunks.
I've been on Sneakerhead TikTok lately, and man, I'm like,
oh my God.
I'll never pay more than a certain amount for shoes, but I love watching those people make huge deals on shoes. It's funny. It's fun to watch to me. Just because I'm a big collector, I understand that collector mentality.
I mean, I understand the collector mentality too. Like I used to work at PacSun, and PacSun does collabs with Fear of God.
Yeah.
And if you ever seen Fear of God merch, like people go fucking nuts for Fear of God. Like
go ham on that.
Wake me up when you get some Supreme merch. That's the only stuff I wear.
Yeah,
and
Nick
Crocs.
wears purely Supreme. Yeah.
So I'm the kind of person you take off your Air Jordan before you propose to Trisha. Because you don't want to crease the toe.
What?
You take off just one of the shoes.
So Danny, do you think you paid a little too much for that dual land or no? That's a magic reference.
I don't know. I mean, I feel so. When I started rewatching Chobits, and after I watched the first 3 episodes, I was just like, oh yeah, this is gonna be something Nick is gonna like. Like this is freaking Nick comedy here.
Yeah, I thought you would enjoy it. Yeah,
yeah.
Especially Sumomo.
Sumomo, yeah. And when I watched Planet Test, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Like I know Nick rates like how he rates things is different how I rate things.
Sure.
So, cause like with his, when he rates something a 5, like for him, that's like a 7 or an 8 or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
like, I don't know.
That's just the middle. It's like a C.
Yeah, like I don't know. I don't know how his how he rates things versus how I rate things is like very different. So I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily say that I lost, that Nick didn't enjoy Chobits as much as he enjoys Planet Test, because I feel like these 2 shows are very different, because one is a comedy and this one is very, I mean, there's comedy in it, but it is a like very serious show. So I don't know. I have a very difficult time. I'm not sure how to answer your question, Sam.
The listeners can answer.
The listeners can answer.
They will decide.
I do feel like, because I did rate Planet Test higher than I rated Chobits.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that that doesn't mean that you like it more necessarily.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
I've done that before for certain shows.
I mean, this show, both shows, like I think for a very long time, I've been wanting to read Chobits for a while, because I just want to see if there's any difference or changes that happened in the show that are in the manga and everything. And it's the same thing with this. Like, I kind of want to read the manga as well, just to see if there are any differences that weren't in the show that are in the manga and everything. So, yeah, I have no answer for your question, Sam, if I won this thing.
We all won. The audience will decide.
We are real winners.
The real winners are the friends we made along the way, and yeah, the robot friends we made along the way, because they can't say no because of the implication.
Sure, if you say so.
Because of the implication.
Shout out to Always Sunny.
Hell yeah! Let us know what you guys think of these shows. Okay, I enjoyed both of them very much, and I think we're all in agreement that we kind of, enjoyed them in different ways. I maybe, I'm actually probably, if anything, I'm really glad that we got more 2000 shows under our belts, because the next couple weeks are going to be current things. Well, actually, we got another movie review coming up, and I won't say which movie because it's really cool. But, with the news of Scott Pilgrim coming out literally in a couple weeks, we're going to review that pretty quick too. So, that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I love you guys. Thanks for listening every week. I love you guys very much. And again, go to links.animesummit.net and hit up the merch. Actually, just go to animesummit.net. Right there. There's a merch. Buy a shirt. Buy a shirt. Take a selfie with your animal. Actually, that's a new challenge. New challenge. If you buy a piece of merch and you're going to take a selfie with it and show us that you bought it, do it with a pet. If you have a pet, do it with a pet, because for some reason it makes the photo 10 times better. Like it just does. Always do it with Animal Face Johnsons. Okay. Love you guys. Thank you for listening. I've been Tom. That's been Danny. That's been Nick. And this has been the Anime Summit Podcast.